where those words or phrases appear. Where those words or phrases appear for your answers. And I'm sure you know this, that when you are handling a comprehension question, if the exam says, mention 4 causes of corruption according to the path. You have the word causes, you have the word corruption. If you go to the passage where those words appear, you are likely to find the answers to that particular question. So when you are reading through the question, there are some words. Carry those words to the passage. Where you find them, underline that section, read that area, you'll get your answers. Number 4, is that 4 or 3? Number 4, practice the following skills. Practice the following skills. I already mentioned them, but just outline them for question 1. Practice the following skills. 1, note making. 2, summary writing. 3, inference. I've talked about it. Inference. 4, handling the vocabulary question. We discussed that in detail earlier. Handling the vocabulary question. I want us to move to question 2. Question 2. The excerpt. 24 marks. 25 marks, sorry. 25 marks. And that is from John Lara's The Samaritan. 25 marks. Now I want to say the following. Number 1, don't write this. Don't cram the text. Don't cram the text. You cannot cram the Samaritan from page 1 to the last page. There are a few things I want to teach you that can make you have that text in your mind in a very easy way. And I want to train you today, the next 20 minutes. Point number 1. Read the compulsory set text. Read the compulsory set text. And internalize the following. I already mentioned that somewhere. Number 1, the plot. I already talked about the plot. So I want to talk about how to master the plot. Just like that. How to master the plot. How can you master the events in the play, The Samaritan? How? Number one. Through clustering of settings. Clustering is putting together. Clustering of settings. You put together events that happen at a particular place. All the events that happen in a particular place. So let's start. Let's start with Sagrada Secondary School. Let's look at events at Sagrada Secondary School. If you have an exam in KCSE and it comes from that setting, that area, let's look at events. Event number 1, write down the launching of the app. The launching of the app is the school dining room, like this one. The launching of the app. In your mind, you know that is the school dining room. You know that it's closing day, and the students are there, all the leaders, and they're launching the app, or they're supposed to launch the app. And Alvita and Montano perform a skit, and when they're done, the mayor dismisses the rest and remains with the principal, and Nicole instructs Nicole to write a letter to the Ministry of Education advising them to hold the use of the Samaritan because it has far-reaching implications. Are we there? So event number one, the launching of the app. Event number two, Nicole meets the students. That's the event number two. That's a graph. Nicole meets the students. Who are they? Alberta and Montana. The next event, Nicole meets the principal. You know, after that meeting, the principal calls. Yeah? We are flowing together. Nicole meets the principal. Why? The principal wants to inform her that Mayor Moses on the way to advise her to give off politics. It's creating a big problem, right? Event number three, Nicole meets Mayor Moses. Sagrada. Nicole meets Mayor Moses. Why has Mayor Moses come? To do what? To ask Nicole to delete any negative information from the Samaritan involved in you. Two, he also makes very serious confessions about all the evils that the people commit. And of course, when he learns that Nicole is not budging, he lives with a threat. You delete or you will know why I am called Mosi or Atonia the smoker. Very good. So Nicole meets Mayor Mosi. The next event with school is Nicole in the classroom. Nicole in the classroom. She's teaching some ethics, eh? Yes. About spirits. The bad and the good one, isn't it? The beach, right? Yes. After that, the next event, Bembe arrests Nicole. Bembe arrests Nicole. As she's teaching, the principal arrives with Bembe. And they say, let's go to the office, there's something. Bembe arrests Nicole. The next event on that compound is Nicole meets the principal. Nicole meets the principal. We are in Act 4. Nicole meets the principal. Act 4 is in 3. Nicole meets the principal for it's time for some review. I have told you these things and you don't seem to understand. Today when they come, I will not even be here. I'm just going away and you know how to solve this man. By your side. So Nicole meets the principal. The next event at Sagrada, Nicole meets all the leaders. All the leaders, led by Justice J. And the last event, all leaders are arrested by title. All leaders are arrested by Inspector Title. We are done. So those are the events at Sagrada Secondary School. Let's go to the jungle room at Mandigo Gold. Jungle room. What is the first event at the jungle room? Mosi plans to the rebels at 1 and 3. Mosi plans to deal with the rebels. Yes, you know what's that? You know that? Yes. The next event in the jungle room, Mosi meets Bembe over Nicole's arrest. Yes? Or Bembe meets Mosi of Nicole's arrest. So I've arrested this girl and there was a lot of problems in town. This girl has brought a lot of issues. In fact, I feel like I'm dying the next minute. So, Bembe meets Mosi over Nicole's arrest. Event number 3, Bembe and Mosi meet Justice Jerry over the great scandal. That will remind you. You know the great scandal? Yes, over the great scandal. The last event in the jungle room, Harvester meets Justice Jerry, or Jerry meets Harvester. For some help, he has some problem. And you know the problem, isn't it? He has been told to jail people, and he's also part of the problem. Yes, so we are through with the events in the jungle room. That is at Mandingo Golf. Now we have the Sky Room. We have events in the Sky Room. There is only one event in the Sky Room. And what is that event? The rebels discuss the violence or the confrontation with Moses' team. The rebels discuss the violence. I saw you run like a rocket, very good. But if I did not run, I would not be alive. Yes, the Sky Room. So it only has one event. Another place is the chambers. The chambers, this is just David's special room. The chambers. Which events are the chambers? Jaden meets all the leaders. Jaden meets all the leaders. To do what? To plan on how to face the God. So, this is one sure way of mastering that text. In fact, when you just look at that statement you are reading that, you try to recollect the whole story. Even at Sagrada, we have several places where events take place. We have the dining hall. We have the principal's office. You know which events take place in the principal's office. We have the classroom. We have the classroom. We have Nicole's office. So all this, you also need to know which events take place in those various places. Is that okay? That's one way of mastering that text. Number 2, by establishing character sets, S-E-T-S. Character sets in the play. Character sets in the play. Character sets in the play. That's how you master the plot. Put a dash at right. No characters that appear together. No characters that appear together. No characters that appear together. It will give you an idea where you are in the text. Now let's look up. You turn your KCSE English Pp2 question 2 and you see Nicole and Narine. You just see the first speakers are Nicole and Narine. Where do you think this is? Where do you think we meet Narine and Nicole? Where? Sagrada Secondary School. Where? Specifically? The principal's office, isn't it? And in your mind, you know either it is the first meeting where she's advised, okay, or the last meeting where she is reviewed. Are you getting me? You turn that KCSE paper and you see Almenta and Montana. Those are the speakers. Where does that take you? Sagrada Secondary School during the skit, isn't it? And when one is seeing robots, another one is seeing cobblers. Any other place where you find the two? Nicole's office have gone to express their fear, isn't it? Any other place you find Almenta and Montana? The last act 4, scene 3, when they bump into the team and they say we have poison, isn't it? You open your KCSE question paper and you say harvester. and Jaden. Where do you think that is? Where is that? Act 4, isn't it? Yes. Act 4, sin. Sin 2. Sin 2, isn't it? No, sin 1. Sin 1. Yes, sin 1. Yes. And what are they meeting over? Jaden has a problem, isn't it? That's why he's meeting harvest. You open your KCSE paper and you see Pp2 English. Where is that? After the classroom, listen. You know that event is after the classroom. And imagine the examiner asks you, what happens before this exam? You just know we are from the classroom. Nicole has been teaching about the spirits. You know that story, isn't it? Yes, and now we're in Nicole's office. He's searching the room and of course shouting orders. And of course eventually Nicole will be arrested. If they even ask me, what happens after this? Of course people are going to see. May I go and say, you know that girl, I can't even sleep. I think I am going to die. Are you getting? So if you want to master the play, these are the methods you use. Number one, I'm saying, you use what? Clustering of settings. You put together a better lesson of class. Is that okay? 2, I'm saying you use character sets. 3, character tracking. Character tracking. Character tracking. Tracking, TRACKING. Character tracking. You want to know this book very easy. Put a dash and say, pick a single character. Pick a single character. And establish how many times. Pick a single character and establish how many times. How many times the character appears. Pick a single character and establish how many times the character appears in the play. How many times the character appears in the play. Comma, with whom, and in which event, and in which event. So those 3 things. You know the character, whom do they appear together, and which event. Let's look at the code. I'll only use the code. You can do the rest. So let's write the code. How many times does the code appear in that text? How many times? 8 times. Nicole appears in that text 8 times. Number 1, during the launch of the app. She's there. Are we in agreement? Her first appearance, launching of the app. Second appearance, with students. In her office. Third appearance, with Marie, the principal. With them? With Marie, the principal. Fourth appearance, with Moses. Fifth appearance, with the students. In that classroom. Sixth appearance with Bella. She's been arrested. Seventh appearance with Mary. And the final appearance with all leaders. You can't fail. You can't fail. You can't fail a question on the plot. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. Master the scenes, master the character sets, and master character appearances. Areas of testing. What are we going to test? Or what is said in this particular question 2? Areas of testing. What do I prepare on? If I want to tell question 2, number 1, placing excerpt in its immediate. If you have the book, then this is very easy. Okay? So can you write this? Give at least 2 events. If you see a question like that, if the maximum marks are 6, the minimum is 4. Give at least 2 events that come shortly before. Give at least 2 events that come shortly before the exam. Give at least 2 events that come shortly before the exam. When I say at least, that's minimum. So you can give them 3. Give at least 2 events that come shortly before the exam and 2 other events. And 2 other events. And 2 other events that come shortly after the exam. And 2 other events that come shortly after the exam. And the line for me before in that statement, and the line for me after in that statement. Point number 2, your answer must be in 2 parts. The answer must be in 2 parts. The answer must be in 2 parts. Number 3, use the expression. Use the expression. Don't want to get confused. Use the expression before this excerpt. Dash, dash, dash. After the excerpt. So dash, dash, you feel it. Use this expression. It will help you to take it to what you are supposed to say. Number 4, still after that, be guided by marks. Be guided by the number of marks. Be guided by the number of marks. So, 4 marks, it means 2 events before, 2 events after. If you see 6 marks, it means 3 events before, 3 events after. So, be guided by the marks. That is one way of setting this question. Another area of testing here is on characterization. Characterization. Put a dash, right? Knowledge of characters. Knowledge of characters in the exam. Knowledge of characters in the excerpt, their traits, and their roles. Their traits and their roles. So you need to tell us that Nicole is assertive, she is principled, she is uncompromising, and many other of those traits. But we can also ask you to tell us the role in that particular excerpt. And what is the role of a character? A character plays the role of one, bringing out things. So a character can be used to bring out things in a particular excerpt. Of course, that goes even for question 3, if it's a narrative. Is that okay? Are you getting what I'm saying? If they ask you for the role of a character, one, think about the things they bring out. So tell us, Mayor Morsi brings him of corruption. You will have given a character. Number 2, a character also brings out aspects of style. Yes? Mayor Morsi brings out irony as a style. Because Nicole does not expect him to offer, yet she is doing that. Is that okay? Another role of a character is that they can reveal the character traits of other characters. Through them, other character traits are revealed. Is that okay? And of course, when we go to the narrative, it changes to something to do with clothes. Number 3, we shall test on style. Test on style. Stylistic devices, literary devices, whatever it is, style. Question is style. Now, we discussed that earlier. So that's what it is in summary. You know what we said? Number 1, knowledge of various aspects of style. Knowledge. Across the text. Where is iron? Where is ellipsis? Where is foreshadowing? Where is flashback? Yes? Knowledge of aspects of style. 2, illustration of aspects of style. I already discussed that. You refer your earlier notes. Illustration of aspects of style. 3, explaining the effectiveness of the style. Explaining the effectiveness of the style. Another question we are testing here is the question on themes. Thematic concerns. We are testing on themes. And we say 1, know the various themes. That's number 1. Know the various themes. In the whole play, because you never know where we shall settle. So know various themes. 2, know how to illustrate the themes. Know how to illustrate the themes. And 3, know which characters bring out certain themes. Which characters bring out those themes. That is one other area of setting. The third area of setting, number 5, is knowledge of the entire text. Knowledge of the entire text, the whole text. Knowledge of the entire text. So don't just prepare for questions in the exam. And I'm sure you have seen your teachers set a question like, from your knowledge of the text, explain why Justice Jaden is reluctant to jail Ramdai. From the knowledge of the text, explain why Justice Jaden is reluctant to jail Ramdai. And this thing, you know why? It's not a problem, isn't it? And you know the problem, right? Yes? Or the examiner says, from elsewhere in the play, cite evidence or mention or explain. That's what I mean by knowledge of the entire text. So, ladies, we shall test you on whether you know the text. That is why I say read the text and internalize it. There are no shortcuts. We shall know. Once we give you the question, we shall know whether you have read it or you haven't read it. Number 6. The 6th area of testing is interpretation of a quotation. Interpretation of a quotation or a statement from the excerpt. Interpretation of a quotation or a statement from the excerpt in relation to your knowledge of the text. In relation to your knowledge of the text. Now, let me just give a very simple example. Baby is arrested in court. And the court says, if you frame me up for charges that are not mine, you shall pay for this, and this will be the beginning of your darkest days or moments. Something like that. I'm sure isn't it? And look at that statement. You will regret what you are doing. You will pay for this. We know that statement can be explained, isn't it? Is there a sense in which Bembe arresting in the court gets into trouble? Is there an instance that where we can cite to show that when after Pepe has arrested the God, he gets into trouble? Is there anything? Yes, of course he's going to complain to the mayor how he's feeling. And the embarrassment that he has gone through, and of course it will even be investigated. We are ready. He will be investigated for those actions, and eventually he will be arrested. Are you getting the point? So can you explain if the examiner quotes a proverb like an elephant that kills a rat is not a hero? And they ask you to explain that from your knowledge of the text. What do you think the goal is referring to? What is it? You need to explain that to us. So we want you to prepare in those particular areas. Number 3. Number 1 was on the block, isn't it? Number 2 was on characterization that I've done, themes. Yes. Character, no, not that. Tracking, I did that. Style, after style. Yes. Thematic concerns, after that. Knowledge of the entire text. Now let's move down there. I don't know what that's point number 5 or 6 or 7. 7. Yes. For all aspects of identification. For all aspects of identification. In brackets, character traits. In brackets, character traits. Comma, themes. And style. The candidate must illustrate. The candidate must illustrate. Okay. So that is all I want to say about question 2. Allow me move to question 3. Question 3. Now, question 3, I've already said that we are purpose to set in the area of oral literature. So, oral literature is what I'm going to discuss. Oral literature, and it's 20 marks. 20 marks. Now, in this area, we shall test in either 2 areas. 1, oral narratives. Oral narratives. 2, oral poetry. Oral poetry. So those are the 2 areas we are like to see from. However, the likelihood of setting a question from oral narratives is higher than a question in oral poetry. I hope you have understood me. The probability of setting, that's mathematics, a question from oral literature is higher than that of a question in oral poetry. But I have said you prepare in both areas. Am I clear? Now let's go to oral narratives. Let's go to oral narratives. Oral narratives. Areas of testing. Just like areas of testing. Where, what are we going to? I'm not saying all these areas will be said, but these are the areas to prepare for a question on oral narratives. Number one, classification of the oral narrative with reasons. Classification, oral narrative with reasons. So, tell us, this is a trickster narrative because there trick. Tell us this is a dilemma narrative because this character is faced with a fix or a dilemma. This is a myth because of this. This is a legend because of this. This is an etiological or explanatory narrative because. This is an older narrative because. So we shall require that you classify and you give us a reason. If we shall set a question from oral poetry, the same question will apply. What type of oral poem is this and why? This is a lullaby because it loves a child to sleep. And this is a dirge or a funeral song because of this. This is a praise song because. So classification with a reason. So in brackets, write this for me. That's point number one. In brackets, write this for me. Know all types of narratives. I'm not saying you prepare legends. I'm saying you know all types of oral narratives and their individual features. And their individual features. So what are the features of a myth? They are different from features of an etiological narrative. So know all types of oral narratives and their individual features. You will be safe for that area. Number two, features of oral narratives. Setting is of features of oral narratives. Features of oral narratives. So know all the general features of oral narratives. I'm not saying that all the things will appear in the narrative you'll be given, but not all of them, so that just in case they appear, you tell us. I have seen an opening formula, I have seen a closing formula, I see elements of fantasy, I see dialogue, I see timelessness. You have to tell us that. And in this area, ladies, every aspect of identification narrative must be matched with an illustration. There is timelessness. Illustration, long time ago. How long ago? Long time ago. Was it last year? No. Long time ago. Was it in the 18th century? No. Long time ago. Was it last? Long time ago. The events in the narrative are not specified in terms of time. Are okay? So you illustrate that for us and you score your mark. Number three, moral lessons. Moral lessons in oral narrative. Moral lessons. Moral lessons. Tutawauliza hiyo. Put a dash. And that's right. The good we learn. The good we learn. Yes, we agree that we shall not beyond 10:20. I am aware that it's a call for tea. Yeah, but I think we agree, isn't it? You allow me just push a bit, then I'll allow you to go. Is that okay? Number 3, I said moral lessons. Put a dash and say the good or the virtues we learn from a story. And if the examiner asks you for a moral lesson, number one, a moral lesson must be stated in the positive. A moral lesson must be stated in the positive or in the affirmative. And maybe let me add this so that we get it clear. Never use the word not when stating a moral lesson. Never use the word not when stating a moral lesson. So don't tell the examiner, we should not be cruel. We should be kind. Don't tell the examiner, we should not be lazy. We should be hard-working. Don't tell the examiner, we should not be foolish. You tell the examiner, we should be wise. So never use not when stating a moral lesson unless it is a proverb. Unless it's a proverb. Is that okay? Because in a proverb we can say, do not judge a book by. We can cover that because that's a proverb. But if it's a statement, never use that. Number two. The moral, the candidate can use a proverb. The candidate can use a proverb. You are allowed. If you want to help others, you can help others. Quiet. Then you come back. You help others. Then quiet. You come back. Yes. If you are pressed. But I press mine so that I make them until I am through. The candidate can use a proverb as a moral lesson. However, you want to get up to letters. However, the proverb must be an English proverb. The proverb must be an English proverb. And not a translation. And not a translation from mother tongue. From mother tongue or Kiswahili. From mother tongue or Kiswahili. Some of you tell us, whoever is up, wait for him down. Whoever is up, wait for him down.
Slowly is the way.
Are you new? The days of our people are how many?
40.
That is not a proverb. That is not a proverb. We want English proverbs. A friendly name is a friendly name. If you can't bring them, join them. Pretenders are worse than others. Make hay while the sun shines. As you make your bed, so you must lie on it. Are we there? Hey, apparently, and whoever is up, wait for him down. We don't want those kind of things. So that is on moral lesson. Let's move to number 4, communal activities. Communal activities. Communal activities evident in the narrative. Communal activities evident in the narrative. I'm sure you have seen questions on social activities, economic activities. You've seen those things, eh? Yes, that's right up there, so that you know I'm dealing with communal activities. Sometimes the examiner can even ask you about the values of a community. Values, the things a community appreciates. Yes, like hard work, yes, and punish criminals, yes. Yeah, culture use. We can also ask something close to that. And we want, maybe, I just want to observe something on activities. Activities must be in the form of an act, not the person, not the. So, don't tell they are hunters. They are hunters. That is okay, but we are asking what they do, okay? We are not asking who they are, we are asking what they do. So don't tell us they are farmers. We want what they do. Hunting, not they are hunters, okay? Don't say they are cattle keepers. No, we don't want the people, we want the activity. And ladies, whenever you mention an aspect or an activity, always get an illustration from the narrative to qualify that particular identification, and you'll score your marks. The next area of testing in oral narrative is on themes. Themes in oral narratives. So we can ask you to discuss, explain a theme in an oral narrative. Of course, you know the characters will bring them out. If the hyena eats until he bursts its tummy, I wish you might say there is a theme of greed, because that's overeating, isn't it? Yeah, maybe if there is jealousy, a stepmom who maybe harasses a stepdaughter, yes, something like that. Yes, maybe pretense, a character who has always appeared nice and yet is an evil character. Maybe the theme of honesty, maybe a character who comes out as the best. Like this story where the king wanted an heir to the throne, so he called 10 good boys in the community and gave each one of them a maize seed to go and plant and report the progress after some time. And the boys went away with the 10 seeds and they planted, but none of the seeds germinated. So 9 boys decided to go and buy some seeds from the market, and of course they planted and these seeds grew. And they went back to the king to give a report. So the 9 said, "Ours are doing very well. You are honored." And one boy says, "Mine never germinated. I used all the agricultural knowledge I was taught. It never germinated." And the king says, "This is the right boy. Those seeds were boiled. There is no way they could have germinated. So if the 9 of you have plants out of those seeds, that is deception." So we ask you, what's the thing? Deception. One, isn't it? Because the boys are liars, isn't it? Honesty. Because there's a boy there who does what? Who does what is right. It's honest. Are you getting the point? So we can ask you to discuss things in another thing. Number 5. We can ask you a question on characterization. Characterization. I'm going to talk about that. Characterization. How has the hyena been portrayed in this excerpt? You know those questions. So, can you put a dash and write knowledge and description of character traits? Knowledge and description of character traits. Knowledge and description of character traits. Number 2, knowledge of the roles of a character in the narrative. Knowledge of the roles of a character in the narrative. The roles. Now let me talk about the role of a character in the narrative. Let me talk about that a bit. Now a character in a narrative plays 5 roles. 5. Number 1, they bring out themes. They bring out themes. So if the examiner asks you what's the role of the hair in this narrative, just tell us the theme the hair brings out. You have your marks. 2, they reveal the traits of other characters. They bring out the traits of other characters. Because the hair is very smart and he outsmarts the hyena, we say the hyena is foolish or gullible. How did we know? Because the hair was wise. So we say through the hair, the hyena comes out as foolish or gullible. Are we there? Number 3, they bring out aspects of style. They bring out aspects of style. Just like we discussed earlier. Yes, a character can bring out irony, can bring out the use of dialogue because they are conversing with another character. You know that. Yes. 3, they also bring out moral lessons. Moral lessons. Characters can teach us something. We should be intelligent. When you get that, the hair outsmarted the elephant. So they bring. And number 4, plot development. Plot development. They help to advance the story, to develop the story. The story can continue like that. Now, I talked about style in oral narratives. And you may have a situation where you have a narrative and there is a song in the narrative. We must be in a position to explain the function of a song in the narrative. And I'm sure that we know. We may also ask you to tell us the functions of a specific aspect of style. Even just an opening formula. What is the purpose of an opening formula? Why do we have it? And why do we use it? Why has it been used? So I want us to be very bright when we are in the examination room. By the way, let me tell you, the things your teachers are teaching and things I'm saying are not all of them will come. There are things you'll find in that paper, I never talked about them, they never talked about it. But you are supposed to use common sense. Common sense. some reasonable answer. Am I clear? So on oral narratives, I want to add this. We can also ask you to explain the function of an oral narrative. And it goes even with the oral poem. The function of an oral narrative. Why we write a narrative? We can even ask you to identify a suitable audience. So next, a suitable audience for the narrative. To whom can such a story be told? A suitable audience. We can even ask you to give a title for a narrative. Give this narrative a title. How do you get the title? Just the events, the main things. Are we there? We can also ask you, and this is not obvious, but it's possible. It's in paper 1, but it's not unique to paper 2. We can ask you a very simple question. Assuming you are narrating this story to an audience, what would you do to make the story interesting? That's a very possible question. Although I know majorly in one, but it is not unique to number 2. Number 2, we can also ask you something on field work. Assuming you are sent to the field to collect this narrative, what problems did you face or did you face, and how did you resolve it? We can also ask you, what is lost when this narrative is translated? Number 1, correctness. Correctness. Hapa hakuna moja, hakuna half. Is there like X? Yes. Correctness. Put on that. Correctness. If you mess with a simple letter, you must be extremely good. Correct spellings, comma, correct punctuation. Correct punctuation. And correct sentence structure. The sentence we want is what we give us. Begin, so, that's that. So interesting was the story that we just follow the given instruction. So the correct sentence, the correct tense. Correct tenses. Correct tenses. If you say I am teach, I am teach. I am teach. It is not a very bad sentence, but listen to it. I am teach. I am teach is not very good. It is all quiet in the mouth, isn't it? You don't say I am a teacher, you say I am a teacher. Listen. So we shall also test on correct tenses. Is that okay? Number 2. The next area we test is called expressiveness. Expressiveness. So in other words, what are we saying? Put a dash. Rewriting of meaningful and grammatically correct sentences. Rewriting of meaningful and grammatically correct sentences. Can the candidate express themselves? Can they? If we have them to change this sentence to passive, active, what? Can they do that? Is it possible for them to do that? That is something we are going to test. And that is question 4A. So write 4A in brackets. 4A. Now, let me address question 4A and you write areas of testing. In question 4A, it's 5 marks maximum. 5 marks. 5 sentences maximum. Areas of testing. So these are the top. Question 4A. 1. Punctuation. We just give you a sentence and we ask you to punctuation. 2. Direct and indirect speech. Direct and indirect speech. Know the rules. Know the rules. Know them now. Don't wait for the explanation. 3. Active and passive voice. Active and passive voice. We are writing notes. Notes are being written by us. Know how to work on those things. Number, that's 4 or 5. 4. Inversion. Inversion. It's a change of the structure of the sentence. I have never been to the Cape Girls. Never have I been to. Are we there? Yes. So inversion is also an area of testing. Number 5. Number 5. Combining sentences. Combining sentences. Using the following. You can ask people to combine sentences using the following. Number 1, relative pronouns. Relative pronouns. So you have a sentence. This is the girl. The girl's mother is a nurse. Then we say combine the 2 sentences using a relative pronoun. This is the girl whose mother is. Are we there? Number 2, conjunctions. You can also ask you to combine sentences using conjunctions. And conjunctions come in 3. 1, coordinating conjunctions. And or but. Coordinating conjunctions. 2, subordinating conjunctions. So you have sentences that have words like unless, though, whatever, and subordinating conjunctions. 3, correlating conjunctions. Correlating conjunctions. Those ones come in pairs. If the husband is not only, the wife is called, but also. If the husband is hardly, the wife is called well. If the husband is called no sooner, then the wife is called than. So that. Either or. Neither yet. So we can ask you to the right sentences combining using conjunctions. We can also ask you to write sentences using participles. 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 I'll show you these questions. Mr. Wanyama had finished talking to the candidates. Full stop. Mr. Wanyama left the school. Begin having, let's go. Having finished talking to the candidates. Very good. Very good. I can see you are very fast. In fact, I don't really want to continue, but let me continue just for the sake of it. Yes. So, that is the participants. Are we there? Another A of testing. Question 4A. Question tags. Question tags. Question tags. Okay, so I'm through with question 4A. Now, let's go to question 4B. Question 4B. And beyond. That's right. B and beyond. So that C, D, E. Yes. That's what I'm addressing now. Filling in the blanks. Kujaza mapema. Filling in the blanks. Filling in the blanks with appropriate words. Appropriate words. Appropriate words. Such as, so we write 1. Parts of speech. Parts of speech. Isn't it? So parts of speech, in brackets, prepositions. You have seen that question? Filling, prepositions. Pronouns. See that? Adjectives. Sometimes we ask for the order, you place them in a given order with not formula. Verbs. in the right tenses. Verbs in the right tenses. You know what I mean? That a verb will change the form according to use. So we fill in the blanks with parts of speech. We also fill in the blanks with articles. And there are three. A. We also fill in the blanks with connectors. We also fill in the blanks with phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs formed from a given word. We also fill in the blanks with words formed from another word. Words formed from another. I'm the one that's there. Now we are filling the blanks with a word formed from another word here. I'm sure you see that kind of question, isn't it? All the students passed because their teachers were Dutch. I have competence. What is the answer? Competent. Thank you very much. Now, I want to tell you something in this sentence. All the students failed. What would the answer? Incompetent. That is okay. Why? I want to teach you something. That's not just, it's not just about the answer you have given me. When you are filling in the blanks with a word formed from another word, think about the cells, what the examiner wants to communicate. If people are failing, you cannot write here competence, because that is negative. The word you form brings out a positive idea. It must be the same. If this is negative, the word you form must also be negative. If this is positive, the word you form must also be positive. Are you getting it? You don't just fill in. We also fill in with quantifiers. So write quantifiers. We also fill in with quantifiers. A little, you know those kind of things. So we also fill in with quantifiers. Okay, I'm through with that section. Let me move to other areas. I am finishing. In fact, I will finish in the next 5 minutes. Other areas of testing. 1. Explaining the difference in meaning. Explaining the difference in meaning between a pair of sentences. Explaining the difference in meaning between a pair of sentences. You can write this down for me. Just for illustration. That is sentence 1.